Hey friends all over the world, I want to tell you one of the most profound words that I have ever received from God. One of the most profound words I've ever received from God, and one of the most profound words you will ever hear in this season that will change your life. And I encourage you to hear as intentionally and as diligently as you possibly can. Hear as intentionally and diligently as you possibly can. Stop wasting your time. Stop wasting your time. Friends, you gotta catch this. Stop wasting your time. Your time is one of the most valuable things that you have. For example, we only have 24 hours in a day. What you do with your time, moments determine minutes, and minutes determine hours, and hours determine days, and days determine weeks, and weeks determine months, and months determine years, and years determine decades, and decades determine centuries. Stop wasting your time. Now, I will say this to you, and it's going to hurt, but some of you are promiscuous with your time. Some of you suffer from chronological promiscuity. You give anything and everything your time. And this is why your life has been challenged the way that it is, because you give anything and everything your time. You are chronologically promiscuous. I had to learn as a leader, let me tell you something. Some people are a waste of time. Some things are a waste of time. Some conversations are a waste of time. And I always get the same response. People say, well, no, that's not Christ-like. Jesus, he was there for the lowliest of them. He was just with. You've never studied Jesus' life then. If you believe that, you've never read the Gospels. When the Syrophoenician woman came to Jesus, he said, I do not waste my time on anybody except the lost sheep of the house of Israel. He said, that's my assignment. She happened to step in by faith and receive a blessing from Jesus. But that was not his agenda. You see, you have to understand there is an agenda with your time and your destiny. I'm going to say this, and this, I'm telling you, I realized just recently in my life that there were people in my life who are a waste of my time. And here's how you know. Pastors, listen to me. Leaders, listen to me. They never heed your counsel. They never follow you. They don't listen to you. They don't obey your instructions. They are a waste of your time. And if you look at it any other way, you are foolish. If you look at it any other way, if you think you're ministering, you are an absolute fool. What you're doing, you're casting your pearls before swine. You're giving that which is holy to dogs. You can think that I'm being carnal, but I'm being biblical. Jesus says, do not give that which is holy to dogs, neither cast your pearls before swine. People do this all the time. And we do it because of emotionalism. We try to attach an emotional value to certain situations, to certain people, to certain conversations, to certain circumstances, to certain places that don't have any value at all. Zero. Absolute waste of time. But many of you have unsanctified mercy, and because of that, you believe that anything that demands your time and attention must be given. And that's where you're wrong. You have to learn how to budget your time and your energy. You cannot put your time into everything and into everyone. One of the most prophetic words you're going to ever learn in this season is no. No, I'm not doing it. For years, I'm telling you, for years I pastored. For years, I pastored some of the most foolish people on this planet. And what I was trying to do, I was trying to pastor them, but they were not listening to me. They weren't submitted to me. They didn't regard me as their pastor or their shepherd or anything. They were just there. See, the problem with a lot of y'all, you think because people are around you, they're submitted to you. You think because folks are around, there's a pastor, listen to me. You think because there's people in your church that they're submitted to you. Just because they're attending your church does not mean they're submitted to you. Some of them will never listen to you no matter what you say. They will never submit to you. They will never submit to you till you die. They won't submit to you. They'll never submit to you. They'll never follow you no matter what you say. Oh my God. No matter what you say, some people will never submit to you. They will never honor you. They'll never respect you, no matter what you do or say, because they've chosen not to. And there's nothing you can do about it. The only thing you can do is make a decision on who you give access to and what you give your time to. Good man. The only thing you can do is decide what you invest your time in and who you give access to, because it's still, access is time. Access is time. Sorry, I bit my tongue earlier. Access is time. Stop wasting your time. Ministry doesn't hurt. People say, oh, ministry hurts and it's hard. Ministry is not hard. What's hard is when you invest in the wrong people. That's hard and that's painful. There's nothing painful. People say ministry is painful. Ministry is not painful. What is painful is putting your effort into the wrong space. That's what's painful. We endure unnecessary hurt and disappointment by investing our time into things and people God never told us to do it. He never sanctioned and he never called you to do it. But you're doing it because you have chosen to see a situation or a circumstance in a certain light. You're trying to rescue someone. You're trying to help someone. You're trying to be there for someone who is incapable of recognizing the value of what you have to offer. I tell you what, wrap some expensive pearls and put them in a plate next to some slop, next to swine. The pigs will not discern the difference between the slop and the pearls. They cannot discern the difference. They can't recognize the difference between pearls and slop. And I'm telling you, I'm trying to help somebody today. Some of you are hurting. You're frustrated. You're depleted. You're even sick. All because you refuse to audit the value of your time and you are giving it to any and everything and everyone. And you wonder why you're drained. You wonder why your business is not as successful as it should be. You wonder why your ministry is not growing. Stop investing time into the wrong things and in the wrong people. Let me say it again. There's some people who will never value you. They'll never value what you say. They'll never listen to a word you have to say. I found this out as a pastor. There's some folks, they'll come to your church, they'll join, they'll sit in there, but they'll have 5 other preachers that they listen to more than you. They go to their websites, they give to their ministries, they sow into them, they go to their conferences, they sign up for their master classes, they watch their YouTube video for hours. They will never listen to one of your sermons online. They'll never listen to YouTube. They'll never play the tape. They'll never buy one of your books. They won't do it, no matter what you say. I remember people will come up to me. It's so funny. I'll be at a conference or something, and people will come and be like, man, oh, I just really appreciate you. I said, well, did you get one of my books? No, I didn't get one of your books. Then get out of my face. Get out of my face. See, it's people like that. They're takers. They just take and they take and they take and they take and they don't give. They drain and they suck the life out of you. And here you are pouring and pouring and pouring, but it will never reciprocate any value. And I'm not talking about them giving back to you. It will never benefit them because they are a black hole. They are a singularity. They suck the light out of the room. They will suck the life out of you if you let them. They come to you for counsel, they'll never follow your advice. They ask you questions, they're not listening. They don't care. Like, I'm trying to help about 100 people right now. Because that's why you're so stressed out. And that's why you feel like quitting. And that's why you want to walk away from ministry. And that's why your business seems stagnant. It's because you've been wasting your time. I realized it. I realized that I was wasting my time. Wasting my time. There's something in economics called opportunity cost. It means that in order to make a decision, you have to forego another decision. In order to make an investment, you have to forego another investment. Every moment you spend on people who are not assigned to your life is a moment that you are neglecting those who are assigned to your life. Every moment you spend sowing into the goats is a moment that is being depleted from the sheep. Every moment you spend on the wrong people is a moment that is taken away from the right people. Every moment you spend on the wrong decision, the wrong activity, the wrong endeavor, the wrong engagement is a moment that you are literally taking away from the right engagement, the right connections, the right people. I am trying to save your life today. I am trying to save your life. Let he that hath ears to hear what the Spirit is saying to the church. I decided never again would I waste my time on people, problems, situations, circumstances that have nothing to do with my destiny. And they'll criticize you for it. They'll criticize you for it. They'll say you're not being Christ-like, you're not walking in love. And what they're doing, people will always demonize you when you set boundaries. They will always try to gaslight you when you put boundaries in place and you tell folks, no, you can't use me anymore. No, you can't. I'm not going to spend another month. I'm not going to take another phone call from you because every time I talk to you, it's a waste of my time. No, I'm not having a conversation because every time you're talking nonsense, I choose to shut the door on the time wasters. I feel the Holy Ghost on that. I choose to shut the door on willfully, consistently, determinately ignorant people who will never change. They'll never change. They'll never change. They're not going to change. They're not going to change because they don't want to change. Can God change them? It's possible, but you won't. I was talking to somebody one time, and I was talking to this person, and they said, Pastor, I got a question for you. And I'm looking at them, and I realized this person's just here to waste my time. They don't care about anything I have to say. They've never followed my advice. They've never listened to me a day in their life, and they never will. You say, well, if they won't listen to anything you're saying, why are they there? To waste my time. Haven't you been listening? They're there to waste your... That is their assignment. That's their assignment. That's their assignment, to waste your time. That's their assignment, to stress you out. That's their assignment, to frustrate your life. It's like a leech. A leech lives off of its host. It draws blood. It draws life from its host. So while it's living, while it's drawing life, the host is dying. And there are people like that. They're like spiritual vampires. The more they drain you, the more exuberant they become. The more excited they are because they're like, ooh. They get off the phone call feeling excited and happy. You get off feeling drained. Come on now. They're like, oh, girl, you really encouraged me, but now you feel like jumping off of a bridge. Why? Because there was a transference of spirits. There was a transference of what was on them. What was on them jumped onto you. Because through that soul tie, you opened the door to a spirit of depletion, a spirit, come on, of depression and oppression. And your time was sapped from you. I'm trying to tell you, most of you will not heed what I have to say, and I know that because you're religious, you have a false sense of spirituality, and you think it's your job to save everybody, and that's why you're broke, busted, and disgusted, because you're trying to save everybody, and you have never taken time to save yourself. You're trying to save everybody. Now you're stressed, your children are suffering, your family, because you don't recognize that there are some folks who have been sent by the devil to you, and their prime assignment is to waste your time. They are there to set you back decades. They've come into your life to keep you from fulfilling your purpose. That's why they're there. That relationship, that connection, that friendship, why is it there? Does it push you closer to God? Does it rejuvenate and refresh you? Or does it drain you? Does it frustrate you? Does it depress you? Does it oppress you? One of the greatest forms of emotional abuse is time wasters. One of the greatest forms of emotional abuse are people who waste your time. Because you don't realize you're damaging your emotional capacity. Every time you pour into somebody who can't discern the difference between trash and treasure, you are literally abusing yourself emotionally. I'm telling you. I'm trying to set you free. Don't be apologetic. Do not be apologetic about valuing your time. Don't apologize for having self-respect. Don't apologize for estimating your worth. Don't you do it? The only people who freely waste time are folks who don't know the value of their time. You don't know your destiny. You don't know your assignment. Because when you know your assignment, you realize you don't have time to waste. Share this. And remember, Jesus is Lord.